Where last we left our heroes on their journey to find their way into the Feywild, they stumbled across an area covered with a thick white mist. Upon entering the mist, Denier found himself without his friends, trapped for a full 20 hours in the mist until they arrived. To his friends, it was only a few seconds later, however. Learning that some weird time wibbly-wobbliness was afoot, they decided to tread carefully, stumbling across a series of tracks. One appeared to be belonging to a dinosaur, and another a set of human tracks. Following the arguably less hungry of the two tracks, they found their way through a series of well-laid traps, a couple of hunting dens laid by whoever dropped these human tracks, and discovered the hunter in question to be Miguel, Wolfgang's cousin, who had been trapped in the mists for at least a decade. Isolated and alone in a savage land, the toll on Miguel's mind was very severe, but the party did not have much time to come to terms with this before a pair of Tyrannosaurus Rexes attacked, and the party had to defend themselves. Vanquishing the pair of monstrously hungry tyrannical lizards, Miguel instantly set about carving the dinosaur that was not vaporized by Denier's mastery of the arcane. Having set up his tower for the evening to try to get a semblance of what's going on and get a little bit of respite, the party is left with a deranged Miguel. All right. So, Denier, how did you set up your tower again? What were the floors that you?
It was a 5th level spell that got casted. The first floor would be a blank, empty floor. The second floor would be the lounge. Third floor, I believe, is the bathroom. Fourth floor is the kitchen, and fifth floor is the study.
All right. So, Miguel takes a moment to, as you pop this tower up into existence, after he finished carving what meat he could carry off of the T-Rex. Just kind of starts, basically kind of twitching, looking at the tower, looking back at the lot of you, still thinking that he's not quite in a good state of mind here.
Miguel, we have shelter for you.
Oh. I was still trying to crack out his back. Ow.
As a snake, you practically bend all the way backwards, doing so almost a complete reverse U.
It's like that thing that Homer did on the garbage can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
This. Miguel's eye sort of twitches as you talk to him. He glances over towards it, back to you. How do I know you're real?
Is this to Aspno or to Wolfgang?
To Wolfgang.
Right.
Wolfgang?
Is there any sort of mark on me from when the ritual was performed to turn me into Nazimar?
The ritual itself wasn't the thing that really turned you into an Aasimar. That's just kind of in your blood. The ritual was You would have learned this through like various readings of like various journals, but the ritual itself was to make sure that the power that was in your blood didn't destroy you.
Right,
It was basically a contract that was made in your name to the sun god to
Make sure
maintain that power. Yeah. But there is no particular marking or anything of that regard.
Wolfgang just stares at him. Miguel. I'm not sure what I can do or say to convince you that I'm real. You think you took down those T-Rexes by yourself, though?
He looks back. There's only one.
Was there only one? I thought there were...
Yeah, there were two.
The other one got disintegrated.
Oh, right.
Right. The other one got blasted into dust.
It's not above me to talk to a delusion, but... I don't want to give myself hope again.
Then ask us something that only Wolfgang would know, that only we would know. Veneer says as he's dragging the head of the T-Rex into the tower.
Nice try, but I would know it too if I knew the answer. Therefore, the delusion would know it as well.
Just about to say that, yeah.
See? Or even thinking alike.
Wolfgang sort of takes off one of his gloves. Miguel, the same Connolly blood runs through both of our veins. I'll reach out my hands towards him in sort of like a touch me sort of gesture.
Miguel uncurls his clawed, kind of trembling fingers, begins to reach back toward you, extending his index finger first. You can see the wrinkles and calluses all over his extremely weathered hands with his nail beds are just encrusted with gunk, and it has been a while since this man has done any sort of upkeep on his own body that wasn't just purely survival related.
If he touches me, I'm going to cast Prestidigitation on him to clean him.
Go ahead and roll Arcane when you do that, because we're talking like a fairly filthy gentleman here.
Arcana, here I go! Probably not going to do it. A 7?
As you touch his hand, you can see several months worth of dead skin and dirt begin to just kind of shimmer and shake and flutter off of his arm, his hand. His clothes, which are made up of various patched together bits of like animal leather and animal skin, kind of very crudely sewn together at this point. What little remains of his old fabrics, kind of still, his old vestments still hold to him and are being held together by these various patches, also begin to kind of tremble and shake. He's not clean by any stretch of the imagination, but he's cleaner.
Fucking hell, you're filthy, Miguel.
He looks down at his hands.
I'll reach towards my belt and unlatch the monster manual from it, and I'll put it in his hands. Would I have that if I were an illusion?
He squeezes it and holds it up to his face and smells it, closing his eyes. Starts flipping through some of the pages. You can see tears start to well in his eyes. My brother and I hunted one of these once. I can barely remember his face.
Daenerys,
Yep.
show the man his brother.
Daenerys will cast Minor Illusion. A 5-foot-tall Magnus Connolly will appear beside him.
The book falls down to the muddy ground.
Mage hand.
As he
Oh, I don't have
glances...
mage hand.
Yeah, it falls to the mud. Deal with it. And,
Jeez.
as he glances upon this holographic image of his long-lost brother Magnus. And as tears well in his face and he reaches out, he collapses due to fatigue and falls to the ground.
I'll shoot down and I'll catch him before he hits his head or anything like that.
All right. As you see him fall, you reach out and you grab him, and he just kind of drifts off in your arm as he mutters,
Help me get him inside.
Not it.
The wizard will attempt to help.
I'll lift him up.
Wolfgang, with your strength score and Miguel's wiry but still relatively frail body, this is next to no issue for you to carry him.
I'll rest him down on a couch or a bed or something, and I'll cover him up, I guess.
He seems to rest deeply.
I go outside, I pick up the monster manual, and I clean it off with my magic and latch it back onto my belt.
It's not
Walk back
that
in.
dirty. There's a couple of wet leaves on it and just a couple of plats of mud, but it dusts off fairly easily.
Yeah.
It's leather bound, and it's leather bound for a reason.
I'll just sit next to him and stare at him.
The last images you really had of him were when you were traveling with him before separating from the wandering weasel. You remember how strong and proud and determined he was, and just seeing this fractured, shambling hermit of a man seems to have been aged by at least 15 years. He really seems in many ways like a shadow of his former self.
How loud is
Just-
the web? Sorry, go on.
He just sort of leans forward and does that sort of Gendo Akari thing where he covers his mouth with his weaved together fingers. He just looks at him.
His breaths are even but slightly faster paced than you'd expect from somebody at rest. You're thinking that all this time he's spent here alone, he's had to stay pretty high tension even while resting in order to survive.
Does he seem malnourished or unhealthy in any way?
Go ahead and give me a medical check.
Slightly better in this. Okay. 18.
he's the fact that he's survived this long does mean that he has been able to get food every now and again. The fervor at which he was hacking at the meat on that T-Rex says that it's probably few and far between from every meal. He's definitely lost a lot of weight since you've seen him, and is more than likely malnourished in a number of ways. Like, he's getting survival calories, but he's not getting nutrition.
Poor Miguel. I feel so bad for the dude.
Wolfing will just watch him, make sure nothing happens to him.
What's everybody else up to?
Daenerys putting away the meat, and he's working on attempting to cook dinner for everybody.
Forget, what skill did I attribute to cooking?
I believe it was survival.
That makes sense to me. If you'd like to roll survival.
All right. Since I'm using the kitchen, is this just a normal roll or advantage?
With advantage, you have lots of amenities at your disposal, including spices and all sorts of things that you've traded for.
All right, good deal. 13.
You make not only a very palatable meal, but an above average meal. Makes kind of what would you be trying to make here?
Given probably I'd go with something like a stew. Get the meat in there, get some vegetables in there, get a lot of water in there, so we can try to put as much nutrition into Miguel as we possibly could.
All right, you make some fresh T-Rex meat stew along with some preserved root vegetables chopped up in there. Just the right amount of salt and pepper. A delicious dino stew.
Mm. Oh, that sounds good.
Nara, Asmo, you guys doing anything?
Asmo, not much really. Asmo just kind of going through the motions right now. Asmo's always nervous in magical scenarios. So now that they're trapped in a time vortex, or whatever the fuck this is.
Nara will have on detect magic and be doing some tracking, like seeing what's been around, what's in this environment, has anything come by while they were having this touching moment. You know, it's usually when it's quiet like this that something else is going on, so she's being hyper vigilant.
Sure, give me a survival check first.
Okay. 7.
Most of the wildlife around here seems to have abandoned the area after the intrusion by the T-Rexes. Anything that might have been smaller probably ran out. Anything that might have been looking to feast on the T-Rexes hasn't seemed to come yet. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okie dokie. That's 19.
Mm.
As you see the remaining trails of that sort of arcane life force that's being drifted into this whirling mist kind of dissipate, there is one trail that catches your eye that for a moment kind of blended with that of the T-Rexes and Asmos, but upon further inspection, like when it kind of collides with the remaining aura of the Tyrannosaurs, you can see that its shade is actually fairly different. This shade of kind of a almost a honey gold aura. It seems to flit through the air and seems to be drifting from further into the woods to the east.
Does it look like it was being chased as well, or following, or what?
It's hard to say. This is just another sign of life that you've come to expect from the these weird little tethers of energy that trickle off of people in these mists. So you can't really tell much aside from the fact that it is in a certain direction.
Okay. And how big is its trail?
It seems denser than others. So it's not so much that the trail is itself large, but it's more noticeable in the, like, while it hangs in the air. You can see it for the amount of vision that you have, like for the 30 feet of detect magic vision that you have, you can see it as it kind of arcs from behind you in this very slow and lazy semi-spiral arcing towards the east. Before it cuts off from your detect magic range and disappears.
Okay. She's just gonna note that and what direction and where that seems to be headed. Well, actually, what everyone's just kind of chilling at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Asmo's still nursing his wound because he got nom-nommed.
Asma, are you inside or outside?
Asmo is actually outside, real quick, just kind of rubbing his wounds right now. Like kind of on the step, you know what I mean? Like just outside the home.
Chilling on the stoop.
Yep.
Nara's gonna poke a little bit ahead, but not too far ahead in that general direction. Just to see if it... Just like another 30, 40 feet. Not super far away from anything.
Okay. As you travel further into the woods, you can see that this arc, like, it continues on this pathway. You can see it fork around a couple of, like, it kind of juts around a tree. As it hits a tree, it, like, wavers a little bit. Asmo, you can see Nara start to walk further into the fog, and you're starting to lose sight of her.
Hey, Nara, what are you doing?
I'm looking at something.
Well, God damn it. Asmo trots off after her.
There's this little... It's like a little...
You think it's... Okay, hey, you know what's a bad idea, Nara?
Huh.
Wandering off by yourself in magical fog. That... I don't know if you noticed or anything, but Miguel is insane. Now, I don't know if you know him, but I knew him before he was crazy. And I'm scared of that happening to you. Or me. Maybe Wolfgang needs some time alone, I don't know. Hard to say, though, but just if you're gonna go somewhere, come with you. Just hold on, one sec. Stay there. As was saying, walk. That's what opens up the door real quick. Me and Nara stepping up for a walk real quick.
I just want to see. It doesn't look that threatening.
No. You gotta understand right now, I am in a heightened sense of security right now. Okay? We're dealing with magic here. I don't know if you know anything about me. I freaking hate magic, or at least dealing with it. I have no frame of reference on anything. So, if you're gonna go wander in magical fog, can I come along with you at least?
Okay.
Oh my god, let's go. Go find the magical finger thing.
Yes.
That's him sighing.
So she's just gonna go a little bit more, just like enough where she can like backtrack a little bit and be like, okay, I was here, and then go forward a little bit, go back a little bit, make a little mark on a tree.
Okay. So you follow the trail, and Asmo, like, you just kind of see Nara looking up, and like kind of like diagonally upward. Her eyes are tracking something that you can't see.
Asmo's doing anime arms behind head walk.
Yep, sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing the lackadaisical, like walking, swinging her arms and stuff.
All right. Go ahead, and each of you can give me a perception check.
Okay. 13. I'm very focused on my trail.
Hmm.
Did you need me to?
Yep,
Yes.
both of you.
Okay, is it not rolling?
It hasn't yet.
What if I told you I didn't pop up my character sheet because of the first roll I've had to do today?
I believe you.
This happens all the frickin' time. Only time I remember to pop it open is when I know I have combat immediately. So that is perception. Nat 1. 18.
Oh, no. 18.
That's an 18.
All
All right. As you're walking, Asmo, you could have sworn you heard Nara say something.
What was that?
What?
Oh, what did you say?
I didn't say anything?
Nara,
You did?
as you say the word anything, Asmo disappears from in front of you. And Asmo, as you hear, I didn't say, Nara disappears.
Fuck! God
Nara-
damn it! I hate magic. Son
Nara,
of a...
go ahead and give me a perception check.
13.
As you say the word anything, you hear Asmo start to flip his shit a few moments later.
I freaking cannot believe this crap! Every freaking time! I don't know what...
So I just can't see you.
No, you hear him, but he's about 50 yards to your west.
Oh my god!
Wait,
Oh, I was trying to protect her. She's gone. Huh? Oh my god! I'm. Where are you? Where are you?
Sound close but far away also.
Oh god! Hold on.
Wait,
Over some brambles and shit.
can you climb to the top of a tree?
Why? What the?
Is she on top of the tree?
You know where he is by the sound of him.
Oh, okay.
So I'll mark trees as I go and walk that direction.
Just stay put for a moment.
Huh?
As you go to mark one of your trees, the mark you were about to lay on it is already there.
Oh, that's not good.
Alright?
Uh,
Alright, tell me to wait. Where are you?
okay,
Is this magic?
yeah.
Apple blades. Alright, I don't know what's happening right now, but I don't even know if you're you.
Do anything yet. Just, okay. Keep talking calmly, and I will walk to you.
Okay, you hear my voice?
Yes.
And she's gonna.
You'll have to forgive me, I am armed right now because for all I know, it's just gonna be your wonderful voice coming out of a terrifying monster about to fucking pop out of the goddamn woods here.
Well, preferably don't stab right
I
away.
can detect magic.
You approach him from behind, funny enough.
Okay.
Ah!
Sorry. I
Ah!
don't know what's happening.
Oh my god! Asmo just does the whole hey arm on the shoulder.
Ugh, head down. That gave me anxiety.
I need each of you to give me another perception check.
Yeah. 27.
You hear rustling in some bushes not too far to your south. Meanwhile,
Okay.
Sorry.
Go to the bathroom.
Meanwhile, Wolfgang, Denier, Asmo just popped out the door, said he's going to, like, he and Nara were going for a walk, slammed the door, and walked away.
What'd they say?
Wolfgang takes a minute. He's not really even focused. And his eyes sort of narrow. And he stands up.
Denier wanders down and puts a bowl of stew next to Miguel.
Those two blasted idiots went out there by themselves.
Oh no. Alright, so what's the game plan? Are we going to try to get him back, or are we going to wait for him to come back, or what?
If we wait, they're going to end up like Miguel.
Miguel, smelling the food, like, kind of just snaps awake and just, like, stretches his arm out to the side, like, drags it in like Gollum with a fish, and just starts, like, scooping out stew with his hand and just, like, gobbling at it.
Well, unless the time dilation gets even worse from here on out, I don't think the time is going to pass any faster than it does outside.
I'm saying they're going to get lost.
What are you talking about?
Our two dumbass friends went out them by themselves.
Just keeps slurping up stew after that, what could be arguably a chuckle.
Just Wolfgang's fist is balled so hard, his knuckles are white.
You've been here longer than us. I assume you have an idea of what's going on here. Any knowledge that you can give us would be phenomenally useful, rather than us just wander out trying to find them.
He sets his hand down. You want my advice? Stay as far west as you can go. Not that direction means much here, but don't go further into the mists. I
What's
got lost.
deeper?
I don't know. But I traveled further in once, trying to find answers. It's madness. Nothing here makes sense.
Denier glances over towards Wolfgang. I'm willing to bet it's the will-o-wisps.
Have you ever tracked your own footprints for 5 miles?
I mean, once, but we were just walking in a giant circle.
Denier, can you scry on them?
Denier shakes his head slowly. He digs into his bag and he pulls out the divination book they got from Telos. I haven't gotten that far into it yet. I'm working on it, though, but I'm not there yet.
Supremely pissed. What's the range on this? Out 120 feet. I'm assuming I can't see that far.
Through the
We
mist,
should
not
still be
particularly.
How far did we go?
You guys were
As
traveling.
far
You guys were traveling for a bit, trying to follow that line.
Okay.
Also, distance, space, and time are kind of warped here.
Fair.
Then as far as I can see, I am going to summon Crescendo, whip it forward, and a wall of light is going to come out 60 feet in both directions. Or no, 30 feet in both directions from the farthest point I can see. I'm going to cast a wall of light. It sheds bright light out from 120 feet and dim light for an additional 120 feet.
Okay.
And I'm going to sit and watch that wall and any silhouettes that might come towards it for 10 minutes.
As you cast it, the length at which you cast it, it has a curve to it. You did not intend it to have a curve, but there is a curve nonetheless, and it seems to almost kind of like warble and warp, especially the further away it gets from you.
Can I roll an Arcana check to try to determine more information from the fact that this is curved?
I also want you to roll me a perception check real quick, Wolfgang. I'm assuming you're doing this like just outside the front door of the tower.
Yeah, I'm staying within the range of the tower. I'm not going out there.
Okay. Perception.
Perception. Here I go. 13?
You hear a kind of like a hollow-pitched screech, like a "Arr!" And you hear this padding of feet as you see a shape, this silhouette of a feathered, not as large as the Tyrannosaur, but almost like emu-sized lizard-like creature begin to like run out. As it gets further away from the light, it disappears. From here, Taka, are you back?
Yes, I am.
I want both you and Nara to roll initiative.
Oh.
No.
As
That's
leaping
funny.
out of a bush ahead of you is a very scared and very startled Velociraptor.
Oh
That
my
looks-
god.
Really burned.
For
Oh,
some
should I roll
reason,
for
I'm
damage on
angry
that?
at Wolf
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage, please.
Okay, that's going to be 4d8. It takes 14 radiant damage. And it needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right. I'll take a stab, and does a 13 save?
That is not going to do it. It is
right.
also blind.
All right, so a very confused, fanged, feathered lizard creature that seems very burned leaps out in front of you, having only heard and smelled you. Asmo, you actually got first initiative here.
Oh, I do? Okay, so this thing looks injured, right?
Yes.
Okay, now the question is running from something, correct?
What was that?
It's running from something, correct?
It looks like it, yeah.
It is
Um,
burned and blind.
I'm gonna see if there's anything behind it before I do something, because do I notice that, and do I think something's behind it actually?
You just see and hear this thing kind of like leap out of some bushes in front of you.
Well, then in my first move, Asma's gonna immediately activate immediately activates Chimera, but activates the shell aspect. Shing!
Okay.
And
That's your
Asma's
bonus
gonna
action.
take a defensive action as well and guard Nara and himself.
Okay, it will have, I guess, double disadvantage on attacks against you?
I don't know.
I don't know how that works, actually.
Yeah, blind attacks against it have advantage, and attacks it makes have disadvantage. For until the end of its next turn.
I don't think disadvantage stacks.
Yeah, I don't think so.
yeah,
either.
I've never heard of it stacking.
Yeah,
So
it
yeah,
doesn't.
your defensive action wouldn't really do much in this situation.
Oh, it wouldn't really do much in that regard. Yeah. Okay, then. Well, then Asmo still activates the shield, and Asmo, yeah, Asmo's just gonna start and smack it with the shell. Yeah.
All right, roll the hit.
Ah!
With advantage.
Bang! 19.
19 will hit.
7. You just bang, bang, bang. The thing that made him jump, essentially.
Yeah, so it leaps out of the bushes. As a reaction, you just kind of like formed the shield on your hand, kind of Captain America backhand it.
That's good stuff. I'm gonna keep smacking it. I got 2 more attacks, Nick.
Go for it.
15.
15 hits.
6. No, I actually have 2 more attacks. I have 5, 4. God, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Great.
Additional 6.
25.
And 25 will also hit.
7. Okay, that's 3 attacks. Is that?
All right, so this thing like leaps out of the bushes. You smack it in the face. You kind of club it on the head, and you continue battering it on the side of its face. It runs to the side and just keeps running past you, as it is now blind, confused, and scared. And as you see it run, Nara, you would get an attack of opportunity on this. So would you, Asmo, if you want to keep hitting it.
No, I don't. Because I'm
No,
more confused.
If it's running, I'm more concerned about what it's running from than it.
All right, so as it runs away, it flees from you. And as the padding of its feet disappear behind you, it goes quiet again.
Nora looks back at the bushes. She, like, grabs Asmo's hand and looks back at the bushes.
What?
That she heard the rustling in, or she saw the rustling in.
That's what the raptor came from, right?
Nope.
There was rustling in the bushes before that thing.
That was the rustling you heard, actually.
Well, shit puff.
Sorry.
What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Okay, can we... What's it running from?
Let's go find out.
And she immediately breaks out in full sprint towards the direction that the thing came from, like, dragging Asmo behind her.
Yeah, I just imagine she's Naruto running and Asmo's like, ah!
Oh, 100%.
All right, you start running in that direction. Give me a survival check.
Okay. 14.
All right, you're able to kind of follow its tracks back this way. You crawl through the bushes. This kind of takes you a little bit to your northwest. And both of you can go ahead and make me another perception check.
22.
22!
All right. As with your twinsies roll, both of you know to stop because you see ahead of you, kind of crouching in a hunter position, kind of in this tall, grassy area. You see a pair of slitted eyes, very similar to the raptors, staring out at you.
Asmo immediately stops and looks. Is it Deus?
No, it's a raptor. Has kind of a feathered red nose, like lines of red feathers kind of going like past its face. Very similar to the one you just saw, in fact.
This is great.
And as it begins to like crouch down, kind of shift, looking like it's about to pounce, I need each of you to make a Constitution saving throw as a blinding wall of white light sears all around you.
Oh my god.
What?
Fucking
11.
20.
Should have healed before this.
So I think let's see, the amount of
11
damage
will fail, the 20 will succeed.
But each of you take 14 points of radiant damage.
Ah! What?
And as that wall of light, like, bursts forth, the creature screams, "Arr!" and starts running, but disappears into a fog of mist before it gets to you.
Asmo is also blind.
Oh my god!
Wolfgang, you hear after
Oh
the
God, I don't
creature's
wanna do anything.
roar,
Wolfgang,
you
do something
hear
right now.
after the
Tree,
creature
fuck.
after the creature screams and runs, you hear Asmo lament his blindness and burns.
Oh my god, I'm blind!
Asmo!
Oh god, I hear Wolfgang!
No. Why?
Where are you? No, there you are. There you are. There you are. There you are.
Yes.
She'll grab him and start pulling
Thank
him
you.
towards the tower.
It is in a straight line leading towards the tower.
What would
The
be a
wall.
straight line. To you, it does look like a straight line as you're following along it. Nara, you kind of have to
Yeah,
step
mhm.
away from it because your eyes are not good with bright.
She has flicked on the her little gothy sunglasses. And is like looking, only like peeping up to make sure they're still heading towards the tower whenever she absolutely has to. And she's
Yeah, you-
also like using Asmo as like a body shield for the light.
Yeah, you find your way back to the tower. And a very disappointed Wolfgang.
The hell is that?
She'll like walk him over to a chair and set him down.
Put me in the exact same suit where I left. What did I say about magic? I swore I was on a
There was a thing I wanted to see.
We went
what
up there,
was
magic
it?
happened, and then Wolfgang magic me, and now I can't see shit. Where are you,
It's
Wolfgang?
his
I wanna flip
fault.
you off. Point this
You're-
middle finger at Wolfgang.
You're
It's
not
his
blind anymore.
Oh. Well, thank you for saving my life all those months ago. I just
And
realized
just now,
Nara crosses her arms and squints.
Wolfgang's eyes are bloodshot.
All right, what happened?
These two idiots wanted to see something.
She turns her head away. Arms still crossed.
I walk up to her and I turn her chin towards me. You pay very close attention to what I am about to say. My cousin got lost. A master tracker got lost in this fog. Aged 10 years. Screwed with his mind. The next time you get one of these harebrained schemes to go out wandering by yourself and drag my comrades with you, I'll leave you there.
She narrows her eyes at him. Slaps his hand away and says,
Well, that's what you want anyway, isn't it?
then leaves. Goes
Leaves
to any other
for-
floor.
Okay. Miguel has already passed back out after consuming 2 bowls of stew.
Daenerys, sitting outside, does not leave the stoop of the tower. He ritual casts Detect Magic, and then using his magic vision, he would like to attempt an Arcana check to get a feeling of what's going on with some of the testimonial from Asmo and, Nara before she left.
Nope, she was gone. The minute that happened, she was out.
Okie doke.
All right, so you take a moment to, as what was previously explained to you is that there are little particles, like those little racist snow globe particles, kind of trickling off people, and you're able to see that with this vision. First, give me a perception check, because Nara would not have
Okey-doke.
explained what she was tracking.
16.
You do see that same honey gold kind of fluctuating to amber trail that does seem kind of more dense than the other trails in the air. Go ahead and give me, with everything that you know so far, go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
27.
Based on what happened with Wolfgang's wall kind of curving off the way it did, the explanation and order of events that you would have gotten from Asmo in this situation, finding the raptor that was burned and blind, and then getting burned and blind himself by the wall of light and facing a raptor that just sort of disappeared. The further into these mists you go, the more time gets warped, and this sort of spiral pattern that you're seeing is this trail that leads towards, it seems like, I mean, it streams off of people, but this wave, this spiral in the mist, it's almost like a hurricane of sorts. There's this spiral, this vortex of energy that just gets denser as you get further in.
So
the further in you go, the more distorted space and time is going to become for you. The more confusing events might become.
Given my Arcana check, is there any theory that we could travel through by traveling with the spiral instead of fighting against it?
That does seem to be your best bet, is to try to follow the flow of this, if you want to make it inward. If you try to track any other way by fighting against the stream, it's going to get really fucky for you. Unfortunately, the only way for you to really track this flow is by following the trails that you see. And you're not always sure those are going to lead to something friendly.
Given my knowledge of what I've figured with the snow globe and the colors, do I have any kind of idea what a rich honey is? I assume that since it is a more vibrant and strong color, that it's the soul of the creature is a much stronger soul. But do I have any idea of what the honey color is?
The strangest part about this trail is that it does seem to fluctuate between amber and that honey gold. It is very much a living life stream. Like, something is very peculiar about it.
Daenerys will take a few minutes pondering this, and then he will wander back in and he will explain everything that he's gotten to Wolfgang and Asmo. He will even use a minor image for visual representation and visual aids in this.
So Daenerys believes he's found a way to navigate further into the fog.
Well, trust your judgment. You're way far more suited towards the arcane than I am. So, we'll get a rest. Set out in about 6 or 8 hours. And then we'll implement your plan.
Seems like the best idea. We might have to, for those that can, we might have to switch up our skill sets a little bit, but I don't see why we shouldn't be able to get it done. Daenerys will go ahead and he will cast alarm on his door with a bell, so that if anything tries to enter the front door of the tower, the bell will start going off. Apart from anybody that's currently inside of the tower, Wolfgang, Asmo, Daenerys, Nara, Miguel, so on and so forth.
All right. Wolfgang, Asmo, Nara, what are you guys going to do before you rest for the evening?
Well, no, Asmo is just blinking a lot, like, trying to get his eyes go back to normal.
Yeah, you got some double, like Wolfgang basically turned the blindness off on you, but your eyes are still adjusting. You're feeling better now.
It's like a flashbang. It's like a flashbang.
Yeah, that's like mop.
I'd say like throughout Danir's explanation, your vision would have cleared back to normal.
Yeah. Yeah, so no wandering off, I think. It's the take away from this, right?
Yeah. Thought you knew better than that.
Yeah, I went after her, didn't I?
You should have brought her back. I don't like her, but we need her.
Oh. Shocker, you don't like her. You don't like me. Huh?
And despite that, we need you.
Yeah. I know. But don't forget, between you and her, one of you two grew up in a cave. Be mindful of that some people grew up in different ways. And yes, you got me here defending her. Oh my god.
It doesn't explain a lack of common sense in this situation.
There was always people back in the swamp. Just taken away by things that just run off, you know? And I remember there was some kids that grew up with run off into the woods. And even if it was for a second, you never know what could be out there, especially in a swamp. Imagine with dinosaurs, whatever the hell you call them. Big me's running around. So, yeah. Anyway, she's back. I got blinded. We're all worse for wear, and the only poor thing that happened is there's an unfortunate that little smaller big me, so like medium me. I just smacked it around with my shield a bit. And that won't happen again.
No, it won't.
No, it won't. It's hard. Hey. Before I turn in for the night, because, you always like having the last word. So I'll end with the last word here tonight. Between the two of us right now. You know what? Never go to bed angry.
Asmo says, shakes his head, and goes to bed. Asmo's pissed now at Wolfgang.
Wolfgang sits back down in the chair and just continues looking at his cousin.
He fidgets in his sleep every now and again, but he's resting deeply.
Danir pats Wolfgang on the shoulder a couple times. Yeah, I'll be sure to get something to eat. I'm going to get ready.
Thank you, Danir.
He gives a couple nods and begins climbing all the way up to his study. He is going to spend the evening reading his divination book. And at bedtime, he's going to cast Dream, go into his mind palace. And tonight, he's not going to work on his spell. He is going to spend the night in his mind palace. In a particular part of it, the spell vault, studying the Staff of Adornment.
Okay. Any particular aspect of it?
He wants to understand it further. He wants to understand how it functions, what on top of it will do certain things. He kind of wants to wrap his head around it better since he lost it for quite some time.
All right. Go ahead and give me an arcane check as you're looking over this mentally recreated artifact.
16.
The most you've ever been able to really glean from it is the kind of warding and trails of wards that lead from the top of that staff down to its center are all wards meant to channel the natural and arcane energies of the things placed atop of it. It's like you can mechanically you understand how it does what it does, but you don't quite understand exactly why certain things do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest conclusion you can come to is that the staff itself is more than likely incomplete. There are patches where certain wards don't match up, and of course there's the splintering from using very powerful objects at the end of it that have caused the tip of the staff to kind of fray and splinter.
As I take it that it's going to take more time and work to figure out how to complete the staff, so to say.
Yeah. That or finding the person that made it.
Very true. Okay. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Nara, what have you been up to since stepping away?
So she went up. I forget if she has her own room there. Or like the room there.
The tower itself. Yeah, go ahead and explain it.
So the way that it is, with the tower, there's not like a group room. There's just a single bedroom with a single bed if it's summoned. So most people have been sleeping down in the lounge since there's multiple comfortable places to sleep rather than sleeping in like a single bed, because Denier hasn't been able to modify the spell to that level to put multiple beds in there quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a blank floor that has nothing in it apart from a T-Rex skull. There's a lounge where everybody is. There's the kitchen. There's the bathroom or the washroom, which has the sauna, the bathroom, every place that you can wash up, and then there's the study at the very, very top of the tower.
Okay.
Asmo, Wolfgang, and Miguel are down in the study, and Denier
Asmo wandered out of there, from what I understand.
And then you said there are rooms, but they're like bare.
There is a single room down at the very bottom that is completely unfurnished except for a T-Rex skull.
Gotcha. And there are how many floors in there?
5.
Okay. So if you just picked a random floor.
Yeah, there's the unfurnished floor, there's the lounge, there's the kitchen, there's the bathroom, and there's the study.
Unfurnished floor is probably where she'd go.
So you'd go all the way back down. So you'd go back down the ladder to the first floor and just...
And whatever place has a window, she would just like stare out of it really angrily.
Anime brooding.
Basically. Very quiet.
All right.
Wait, are you talking to Asmo?
No. She the moment that interaction happened with Wolfgang, she immediately charged to the unfurnished room and just like has been like basically staring at nothing for a very long time out the window.
Can Asmo swing by?
Yeah, that's probably where you'd go after you finish talking to Wolfgang.
Knock, knock.
She doesn't turn.
You knock on the top hatch of the ladder as you climb down.
Boy.
Asmund just goes and sits beside her facing the wall. Just look in the same direction.
Now, sometimes I forget Wolfgang's a dad. And then, when sometimes we act as children, it comes out. It wasn't wrong to say what he said, but it was wrong in how he said it. I can't imagine I have upset a lot of people. But I still stick around. Because the goal to be as well just can I put my arm around you and have it not be weird?
I should have never let myself feel anything.
Okay, well, okay, oh.
If I would have just focused on what I was supposed to do, I wouldn't think about having a father or the boyfriend or the cat man or the sunblood.
I don't have a father. No, I probably do. I have no idea who he is. Probably have a mom too. No idea who she is. And there's no great mystery with me. No great hidden purpose. Powerful dad. I'm waiting for to find out Danir's dad is a god or some crap too. I swear. Yeah, I've never been burdened with the same level of... Ugh. Oh, I say this... And I cringe saying it, destiny, about you and Wolfgang and Danir. You know, none of us has to be here. Here.
Asmo gestures around.
We all came in here kicking and screaming. And we do our best to not go out the same way. Caring is important because not caring means nothing matters.
But it hasn't. It didn't. Do you know how many times I died, Asmo? Do you know how many times when I started to care about something for myself, my soul got ripped out of my body? Do you have any idea what it's like? For the first time that I care about anything, and I knew what I was doing out there. If he hadn't interfered, would have been fine. I probably would have found whatever it was before they even bothered. How come someone who got to love once and has something to love gets to be like that?
The person he loved is gone and never coming back. There's somebody else he loves, and every decision he makes, and every decision we make affects him, and all that affects that one kid of his. Because unlike our dads, he actually gives a shit.
I'm supposed to kill mine.
Tell me. After everything you've experienced so far, you right now are trying to make yourself not care as much as you do. And you want to know why I know that? It's because I do the same thing every goddamn day. You didn't ask for your dad to be who it is. Much like Wolfgang didn't ask to have his lineage. And that's something that's really neat about you two. Is you have the exact same responsibility. We've only known each other for a short time. And you've been through definitely through up and down the wagon on this one. Have you ever thought to think about what you're gonna do for yourself?
And Aspo like points, just poke at the top of the chest. You.
She looks down at his finger and then finally turns to him. Her eyes are all welled up with tears and she looks really angry still, but she softens up when she actually looks at him.
We all cry. We all weep. To weep, to cry is to be mortal. Whatever you want to call it. Crying doesn't mean you're weak. No. It just means you've been strong for too long. And I just don't know how you've been strong for this long. I just don't.
Asmo just looks in disbelief, just like shrug of the shoulder, like how I no idea how you did it.
She turns to him and just like leans her head against his chest. And he can hear like clips of water hitting his boots.
Asmo,
And just really quietly he hears,
I'm tired, Asmo. I'm so tired.
me too. Me too. And Asmo hugs her and rests his head on her shoulder.
she just stands there limply.
Fade to black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you both stand there pondering the future and everything that goes along with it, here's where we'll take a break. Hey guys, Lani here. I just wanted to thank you for rolling with us. And if you wanted to catch us live, you can do so almost every Monday at 5 o'clock Central Time over on twitch.tv/Lanipator. Now, back to the show. So you guys rest through the night? ? You guys get a full rest in you.
Mm-hmm.
Healing yourselves up. And have a very awkward breakfast. Miguel is awake now. In fact, he's kind of like the first one to dart awake.
Wolfgang will probably wake up because he's fell asleep right next to him.
You can see him clutching at a very like chipped and a very well weathered dagger in his hands as he's surveying his surroundings. So it wasn't a dream.
No, it wasn't. Good morning.
No such thing around here.
Good waking.
He just nods silently.
Are we the first ones up?
What the hell happened, cousin? How are you still so young?
You must have beat us into the fog. Time is
Faster in here.
faster in here, yeah. Couple seconds in here, or a couple seconds out there is a day in here.
So not much has changed, I take it. I guess there's some relief in that.
Pretty much exactly the way we left it.
Good to know there's still a world. For the longest time, I thought it was all gone. Something terrible had happened, and this is just what it was.
The fact that we're all still here means that there's something out there left. Well, it's worth saving.
I'd like to see it again someday.
We will. I'll sort of reach out and grab his hand.
He flinches for a moment as you kind of like cup the back of his wrist. Yeah. Then he reaches out with his hand and puts his over yours.
I'm gonna get us all out of here. We're gonna get you back into fighting shape, too. I think I know of a way. Can't pick up any girls looking like that.
I almost forgot what genuine laughter sounded like. Did you find that thing?
The thing.
The monster that killed my brother.
No. We're still after him.
Well, if it's any solace, he must be trapped in here too.
Maybe. I have a feeling we'll see him on the other side of all this.
If any gods be willing. Something ate him by now.
And here I thought you were wanting to do the job yourself.
Would be my only regret. But just knowing he's dead. That'd put something in me at rest. I've been in
Sort
here
of
a
nods.
long time, cousin. You start to lose track of things. And yes, I want that bastard dead. I want that bastard deader than anything that's ever been dead before. But at what cost?
Think everything you went through, if you get the opportunity, will it be worth it?
It's a bloody elf, right?
It's in the body of an elf. The thing, the entity that hijacked that body is anything but elf, human, mortal.
Bastard killed my brother in his prime, and I'm well past it.
We're going to take care of this. You'll see.
Right.
I'm gonna be with you.
Everybody else wakes up one by one, and each of you will consume what food you can for the day. Anybody have anything in particular they wanted to do before leaving the confines of the tower?
I want to brief Miguel on the plan. Since he was out for the last time.
So you think you can navigate further in?
It's possible to be able to navigate further in. We just have to be able to know when to curve our trajectory, because the entire thing is just swirling. If we can follow the swirl, that's our best bet. Just follow it all the way around until we get out. But I think this is going to need all of us to be able to get it done. Those that can watch the patterns, those that can track, those that can make sure that we're on task. Every single one of us has the skills that's going to be necessary in order for us all to be able to get out.
Can't say I'm excited at the prospect of traveling further into these mists, but I'm not leaving the first group of people I've seen.
At this point, it might be our only way out.
Unless teleportation circles work.
I'm going to assume they don't. Good morning, everybody.
We got soup.
Top of the awake.
Eggs and bacon. Oh, and by the way, Asmo putting some food in the bowl.
You and the fellow magic user, not the cat, might want to talk some point. Some point. And prove who's the adult.
Asmo gives him a look like, come on.
Is she talking to me?
Oh yeah. I'm telling you, you gotta smooth things over with Nara, because you're the one who was a complete a-hole to her.
I just stare at him.
Regardless of being correct, you were an asshole.
Besides, we're gonna have a fun-filled day of dealing with.
Asmo gestures out the window.
All of that garbage. Yes, can't wait. God,
It's
this is.
about this point that Nara comes in, blank-faced, and just, like, slowly sweeps the room with her eyes and then walks straight to the food. Gets it, sits down very curtly, and starts eating, staring at the plate.
As everybody walks into sight, Wolfgang will gesture his hand towards everybody, and a shield of translucent feathers will wrap around you and then fade. You all gain 9 temporary hit points.
Yeah.
Wahoo!
Even you, Nara.
Nara of the... Oh.
Actually, I think Miguel also gets it.
Oh, one would think so, yeah.
Yep, up to 5 creatures, yes. So Miguel will also get it.
Alright. I'll make sure to mark that down for him. There are plenty of creatures that stalk these mists. Some larger than the ones we killed yesterday. Some things just get trapped in here. Wander until they die. Some things were born here. Were tainted by this mist. The further in you go, the more likely you are to find those.
Those.
You mean Asmo gestures to breakfast?
You mean the beasts?
Things worse than that, I think.
Dude, that thing was the size of my forearm. My forearm, Wolfgang.
You should blink at him. Miguel, have you seen any of these things firsthand? I know you mentioned something last night, but you were a little bit out of it.
Out here, those beasts roam a lot. Some of them are friendlier than others. Some of them just want to bite on you. I try to keep my encampment as well defended from the larger, hungrier ones. When I can, I track the ones that are more docile. Hunt them for sustenance. But you can't travel too far from your base of operations, otherwise you're likely never to find it again. The encampment you were coming up on. It's my 17th. I've only ever found the same one twice once. And that was years apart. Somebody else builds encampments, though.
So you don't
Probably
think
the
you...
Grabthar.
So said the etchings and the notes. But most of the ones that I've ever come across seem to have been abandoned for decades. Long in disrepair. I spruce up what I can. I'd stay there for a few weeks. Eventually, you just get tired of tracking through the mists and you just try to survive for a while. But if you think you can navigate them, I'd be a fool not to travel with you.
I trust Anir's judgment on these matters. He seems to be pretty in tune to the energies.
Miguel nods.
There's also a trail. Last night, I caught wind of a trail coming off of somebody's soul. It was flickering between amber and a very rich honey. I've never seen somebody like that. It might be Grabthar. It might be the Fae that we're looking for.
Fae that you're looking for.
Yeah. It's the daughter of the Queen of Winter. Apparently she's allied with Autumn, I believe.
There was a time that I thought I heard giggling in the mists. Sounds of a little girl. When I first got in here, I tried tracking them, but it only served to get me further lost.
Fae can be tricky like that.
Did the temperature ever change suddenly?
Yes. It was getting cooler. And the trees, they were everywhere around here. Typically, it's all evergreen. He kind of gestures out the nearby window where you just see the trees standing, kind of blowing about. But you could smell the dead leaves. I tried to follow it in further, and then a thick fog enveloped me and it was all gone. I was lost again.
We should come up with a system so we don't get separated. That's the last thing we need.
We're gonna have to do the old-fashioned rope trick, huh?
That's what it's looking like, unless anybody has any better ideas.
Not for keeping ourselves connected.
Alrighty. Nara, I'm gonna be tied to you.
Daenerys gonna glance
Idea.
out the window at the
One
T-Rex.
second. Continue on. Sorry.
Daenerys going to glance out the window at the T-Rex body. He's going to make sure that there's no predators or anything like that eating, or any scavengers eating that thing before they walk outside.
It's already a skeleton.
Whoa.
Okay. Something was here last night, or time goes by a lot faster, because that thing was flesh and bone. Yet that thing was fleshy yesterday, and it's bone now.
Nora slowly turns her head to the window, slowly turns back down to her food.
There are scavengers out there, sure. The odds are it just got caught in some gibberish. Like I said, I still don't understand how everything works here.
This entire thing is... The best way I can put it is it's like the aftermath of a spell. Like a really, really big one.
I'll admit
So
I
our
didn't
best-
really pay much attention in arcane studies. Kinda wishing I had now.
Yeah, a little bit, but the important thing is that we're here and we're going to help each other get out of here.
And what are we waiting for? Miguel kind of groans as he stands up. You can hear like pops and cracks coming from his bones as he stands. Does some stretching. You hear more pops and cracks as he does so.
Just winces every time.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody just like kind of running their fingers over bubble wrap.
Oh, that's not good. Did we just start hearing this?
As Miguel is kind of like stretching out and trying to make himself limber.
Oh, that's nasty.
But then Asmo needs to stretch his arms out now. Oh no. Oh no! Now I actually want to stretch in real life. Damn it. God damn it, Nick.
Stretching feels good, man. And it's good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miguel's just making a bunch of old man noises.
So Nara's, just to make sure Nara's just staring out the window.
She's just like poking at food, kind of eating, listening.
Daenerys glances over, noticing this. He'll give a little finger wiggle, and the next time that Nara looks up at out of one of the windows, Blasmo's head is poking up over the window, staring at her.
Blasmo, like the rubber hose Asmo,
Rubber hose Asmo,
the
one
cartoon
that she
Asmo.
went crazy for last time.
Like she looks up, her mouth starts to move, but it doesn't reach her eyes, and then her mouth drops again and she looks back down.
The little image of Blasmo pokes at his little tongue, gives a little blep, smiles at her, and then ducks down onto the window. And Daenerys will go back about his business. All right, I think I'm good to go whenever everybody else is.
Miguel is
All
going
right.
through an inventory of his items. You can see him like counting through his crossbow bolts, which at closer inspection appear to be crafted from bone. I should be good.
All right, then. We're all square. Let's head on out. Stay close to each other.
Miguel nods. As you guys exit the tower and it deconstructs back into its surrounding, leaving a bit of a crop circle behind it.
As Daenerys walking outside, he's going to call out, all right, magic users, we're going to be keeping an eye on the mystical aura and the soul essence. Those with very good eyes, you're going to be keeping an eye out, making sure that we're not wandering into anything stupid. And those of us that are very good close quarters specialists are going to make sure that nothing jumps us. And Daenerys pulls his jacket up close.
Nara nods blankly, stands by Asmo.
What?
No, Wolfgang, what's going on?
You're leaving.
We're getting ready to leave.
You're tracking now.
Oh yeah, okay. That's what I thought. I was like, was it something else?
Nope.
Okay.
All right. Who all is going to be using detect magic?
Me.
She's gonna wait because she knows that it only lasts for so long.
Okay, those
Yeah,
who are using
I can do it for. I can do it for free. So.
Those who are using detect magic, go ahead and give me a perception check.
All right. 16.
9.
Wolfgang, this trail that they were talking about, you can't seem to see it. And Denier, it's fainter than it was yesterday. But you are able to get a glimmer of it. You're able to find that thread.
There it is. He will point up towards it.
All right.
With Denier's assistance, Wolfgang, you are able to see what they were talking about. This honey gold kind of ebbing into amber aura. It looks like very thin trails, like thin speckles, like almost like glitter, kind of like twinkling through the air to you.
All right. I think we've got a trail. Let's get moving. Every minute or so, make sure to check the people around you. Make sure we have everyone.
Miguel nods.
Whoever's traveling with Daenerys actually reaches out and has a hand physically on their person.
All right. I guess in terms of a conga line, in what order would you be traveling?
Asmo in the front, Nara behind him, I think.
Sounds about right.
Yes. Should I be in the rear, just so Denier can stay in the middle, or would?
You also have the most speed, so yeah, because if need be, you can move quick.
We want the trackers. We want trackers, either medium or up front, so that they can have a better view sight on everything.
All right, so
Denier in the very back.
After Nara, in that case, would probably be Miguel.
Yeah, Daenerys after Miguel and Wolfgang after Daenerys.
Okay, Wolfgang being the caboose.
Sounds good.
All right, so with Daenerys and Wolfgang's direction, you guys begin following the life trail. The air begins to feel thicker as you travel minute after minute. Actually gives you kind of like a pressure headache at times. Miguel would inform you that this is normal traveling further in. But as you do get further in, the cord that you are following, this trail, gets thicker and denser. I want everybody to make a perception check as you continue on.
Okay.
Okay.
26.
20.
8.
And mine is 15. Oh, that Matt one other side.
Nara, Denier, and Miguel, each of you start to pick up a distinct scent. This sense of kind of decaying leaves, this fall smell.
That's it. That's the smell.
Yep, I think she's close.
As you continue onward,
Heading towards her.
as you continue onward, the smell gets thicker and thicker. Asmo, you can smell it pretty soon after people point it out, and Wolfgang, not too much longer after Asmo, you also start picking up that scent.
Look in the air.
Smells like fall.
After a few more minutes of travel, Miguel kind of like jerks his head up for a moment. You can see his ears begin to twitch. Nara, you hear this as well. You start to hear this clacking noise, followed by kind of the speech cadence of a young girl. And I do what? You know what? It's my man. I do what? You know what? You know what? You can't quite make out what they're saying, but in the distance you start to hear that. And it's problematic because it sounds like it's coming from a different direction than where Denier and Wolfgang are trying to lead everybody.
And Miguel and I are hearing this?
Yeah, Miguel and you hear that.
Does she notice that he heard it?
Miguel would have spoken up.
Do you hear that?
Nara nods once.
He points off, and this is kind of perpendicular to the way the trail seems to lead.
It's coming from that direction. It's a little girl.
It might be her. It might be something trying to lure us away from the path.
I'll trust you on that. I don't know what my senses are doing to me these days.
So you continue on the trail?
I'm going to get everybody's feedback first because something deep down tells me that this is just that this is the last time that Miguel tried to follow it, it led him astray. And Denier knows that the will-o-wisps are in the fog and that they like to mess with people. Denier's not sure, but he wants to get everybody else's opinion.
I'm a bit skeptical as well. Fairy magic can be pretty tricksy, as we heard from Miguel. Did anyone make out what the noise was saying?
Would I have?
You can't make out what it was saying because you can't quite determine what the words were. They might be speaking a language that you don't comprehend normally.
Okay. She just won't speak up then.
I couldn't make heads or tails of it. Just, I know I hear them.
Denier's going to try something, and he's not sure how it's going to work, but he's going to attempt it. I attempt to cast Summon Phase Spirit. And I'm going to summon my my Dryad. I don't know if it's going to work in here, but I'm going to try to at least get a Fey perspective from this situation.
Okay. You take your moment to cast, and materializing out of a trail of leaves in front of you is that same shy-looking dryad woman. Huh. She's kind of wincing and kind of clutching at her head as she spawns in. What's happening?
I'm sorry to have called you. We need your aid at the moment. We're in a place that is very unique, and we believe that something is trying to lead us astray, but
You see her hair that came in very well, the flora that is her hair begins to kind of turn this orange, and like this myriad of orange, red, and yellows.
she's
doing something to her.
She's adapting to the nature around her. We believe that there is an archfey nearby, but we hear giggling nearby. We're not sure if it's a fey trying to lead us astray, or if it's actually the archfey nearby.
I can feel her. She points down the direction of the life string.
So she's that way.
It's clear as day. Her fingers, the kind of bark that makes up her fingers begins to kind of like weather and crack and dry out slightly as her body begins to adapt to this sort of autumn-like energy permeating the air. Yes. She's that way.
You have my most sincere gratitude for your assistance in these trying times. I'm going to let you go back home because I don't want to see this take any more toll on you. He smiles and he gives her a little bit of a hug. And with that, he lets her go.
As she hugs you back, like, it has been a while since I've felt this. And she trickles into a stream of leaves that kind of wraps itself around that life stream.
Mm-hmm.
And even those of you that could not see it previously, you can see this trail of leaves sort of like wrap itself around and begin to pull in this slow but sure curving arch.
Denier snaps his fingers and points up at it. There's our path.
All right, we're going.
As you continue... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just gonna lower the goggles of seeing invisibility over my eyes and activate them.
As you continue to follow this trail, that sound that you were hearing, Nara, and Denier, soon after, as you follow this trail, you begin to hear it too. It starts off sounding like it's way off to your left, but as you keep walking down this trail, somehow the sound begins to move as if it's slowly shifting to being in front of you.
I'm gonna do comprehend languages.
So am I.
And as you comprehend languages, the Sylvan that the little girl was speaking starts to come true. And then you mushed him what good, didn't you, Brock? Click, clack, click, clack. As you kind of make your way towards this clearing, you can hear this spring of water kind of trickling. And you see this well, I guess little girl. This lithe little girl appearing about 10 years old. Her hair is this apricot. Her hair is the color of apricots. It's an untamed wild shock that sits atop this dirty, freckle-covered face with very pointed features. She wears a dress that appears to be made out of fall leaves, kind of ankle length. Very much kind of it almost looks like a summer dress, though, in how it's constructed. She immediately takes notice of you, kind of sits down on this mossy rock that she's jumping up and down on. Hello! Oh, it's you guys again! Oh, you have a friend!
She
She
says,
say that in Sylvan?
No, she actually says that in common.
Oh.
I remembered this time. She pats the rock beneath her feet.
have we met this girl before, Lani?
Nope. She kind of cocks her head at the confused expressions on your faces. I do something wrong?
You've met us before, but this is the first time that we're meeting you.
Oh, this is your first! She kind of says with this excited glee.
You're Wither, right?
Mm-hmm. And you're Wolfgang. And Denier. And Asmo. And Nara. And new guy.
That means all the other times we hadn't found Miguel yet. Or we wandered past or something happened to him.
That name's familiar.
How many times have you met us?
She kind of thinks off. 2 or 3?
Then you know why we're here.
And since this is the first time, that means that you're not close yet.
Not close to what?
The portal.
Denier places a hand over his face. Because it's a spiraling pattern to get to the center of the storm, which means we have to pass by multiple times to get to the center.
She just kind of like scratches her head. That makes sense to you, Brock?
Denier takes his staff. What we're on, is this like dirt or grass or what have you?
It's grass, dirt, dead leaves, and there's like a small creek that kind of like streams through. She's sitting on the other end of the creek from you on this mossy rock that she continuously talks to.
Denier's kind of going to draw a spiral in the dirt. We're here, and he makes a circle on the outer edges, but we have to continue along the circle, right?
She scoots forward.
Which means that we're going to have to come back here at this point, and he points to further in the circle, and then this point, and he points again further in the circle, before we get here to the center where the portal is.
I don't remember meeting you here before, though.
Maybe we did something to change what caused you to meet us?
She shrugs. You have a new guy, though. I guess it's old
just-
guy, because this is the first time. This is the youngest I've ever seen you.
What's
no.
the oldest that you've seen us?
I don't know how. She just kind of shrugs again.
All right. Red flag. But so you know how now when we meet you the other times,
You kept trying
How-
to tell me to leave.
because your mother is concerned about you and she needs you to come back to her. And I take it that you don't want to go back.
Why do I have to? I'm safe. I got Brock. She pats the rock at her feet.
Is the rock like moaning?
You do hear these creaks and grumbles.
Chick.
Brock's been here a long time.
Am I getting any magic off of the rock?
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check with advantage.
Oh boy.
Because yes, there is magic on it.
Natural 20.
Not only are you getting magic off of this, but it is a very, very familiar type of magic. One that you recognize as formerly T-Wig. Very similar magic signature.
Wolfgang's eyes just bug out of his head. That's one of... They're giving off the same energy as T-Wig.
The rock kind of trembles for a moment. And Wither just sort of sits down as the rock stands up, this very large humanoid shape created out of boulders interlaced with vines at its joints. Moss covers a good chunk of its exterior, and you see as it raises up a singular hole at the top of the uppermost rock glows with this cyanic blue aura and peers out at you.
Denier holds up his hand, and with a minor image, he summons the symbol of Fleetfoot.
Brock remembers that. It's why he didn't smush you the first time. Spoilers.
Oh. B-Rock. I get it.
Oh my god! Why didn't I get this until now?
What? I don't.
T-Wig, B-Rock, Twig, Rock.
Got it.
You are safe here, and you are happy here, but at the same time, your mother is concerned about you.
She
She
always
misses
is.
you.
She's always so worried.
It's... Denier crouches down for a second. It's a parent's job to worry. He looks back for just a second. His eyes linger on Wolfgang. Then they shift to Nara. It's what they do.
Sometimes when your children wander off, it worries them. You fear for their safety. You get scared. They get angry.
But if I go out and I see her, she's not gonna let me go away again. She'll be mad.
Maybe at first.
Nara clenches her jaw.
You've probably heard this story before, but I'm just like you. When I was a kid, I left home. I thought that I was doing what I wanted to do, so I went someplace that I wasn't supposed to, and I got taken away. A long way away. I was happy, somewhat. I was safe, somewhat, but deep down, everything in my body, everything that I'd wanted for years after that was just to see them again, to hear their voice, to hold them one more time. You may not feel it now, but you will.
Mm-hmm.
Think of if that feeling comes and they're not there anymore. Think of how you'll feel then. This adventure may be fun. This adventure may be grand. You may have Brock here to keep you company. But time moves differently in here than it does out there. Yes, you may get into a little bit of trouble. But you'd only get in trouble because they care. If she didn't care about you, there would be no trouble, but that would also mean she doesn't care. You know? Sure, a parent might yell or scold, but it's because they worry and they love.
Go ahead and persuasion with advantage.
Okie doke. 13.
Look, I know you're trying to help, but I want to stay. And just 'cause Brock knows how to get from here to there doesn't mean that I have to go. 'Cause I get to make up the rules 'cause I'm the queen of here. And she just kind of nods to herself.
Did you say that thing knows a way out?
Brock? Yeah.
The way out is this portal you're referring to.
No, that's your way in, silly. Your way to the Arcanos?
Just look over at Denier.
He knows how to get back to the overgrowth. The way out and the way in are different. The way out leads us back to the overgrowth and back to her mother. Whereas the way in, I'm guessing, is at the center of the storm and leads us right to Arcanos and the Feywild.
And that's what the grumpy man keeps saying.
The grumpy man.
The little guy. Little, like, he's shorter than me. He's grumpy.
Oh, Grabthar.
Yes. I call him the grumpy man. He doesn't like it.
I imagine he doesn't. Did you see... Tell me, did you see anyone else come around here with her? And he'll sort of get down on one knee and lift up his glasses and look at her.
I've seen lots of people while being here. And things. Brock squishes lots of them. But, there was the silly man.
The silly man.
Mm-hmm.
What was he like?
He was grumpy at first, but he liked to sing and tell jokes. He made me laugh. Brock wanted to squish him. I told him no.
Do you know which way he went?
He
And
was
how many
looking...
times have you seen him?
I only saw him the one time. He was looking for the portal too. Said he needed help with something. Something that he wanted to get rid of. It's probably why Brock was real grumpy on him.
I have a question. This is going to sound a little bit strange, but I've got a question for you. The last time that you've met us, did I give you anything? Namely, Denier reaches into his pouch and he pulls out a book. This. Did I tell you to hold on to this until the next time that you saw me?
She looks at the book.
Oh.
What book are you holding up?
The Tome of Understanding.
You tricky bastard.
You did at one point, but I lost it.
Well, tell you what. Promise me you won't lose it this time. And Denier offers the book out to her.
Miguel...
I'll be back for this.
Miguel steps forward.
She says she knows a way out.
He walks up and just looks at her.
Little girl, please. I've been in here for too long. I need to leave.
She just kind of like silently looks down at him, looks over to Brock. Well, we don't see him again, so he'll probably dead. Is what she says in Sylvan to Brock.
Nara doesn't tell anyone. Although Denier probably understood that, right?
Denier did understand that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go.
You don't have to go. At least, not yet. There may come a time. You meet us off. You said you've met us 2 or 3 times. That's okay. We can ask next time. Your mother just wants us to bring you back. She never said how long it has to take for us to bring you back. Help us get him to the exit. If you don't mind. He offers the book to her. And I'm sure that we'll meet again. We have to go to Arcanos after all, which means we'll be passing through here again. And who knows, maybe next time we'll have something else for you to look at and hold on to.
Miguel is basically sitting there on his hands and knees.
He's been here a long time. He he really has a lot of things that he needs to do, but I think he spent his time here.
She looks over to Brock. Back down to Miguel. What would you give me? And she just kind of smiles. Starts kicking her legs back and forth, like dangling from Brock's shoulders. Brock, by the way, who stands about 15 feet tall.
What's your favorite thing?
Honeysuckle.
Honeysuckle.
My brother used to give me some. I haven't seen him in a long time.
I'm sure he misses you too.
He stays with Daddy. I'm supposed to stay with Mommy.
Oh. What do I have?
Why? Why?
My what?
Why do you have to stay with your mother, and your brother has to stay with your father? Why?
It's just what they say. And we're too young to make our decisions, which is why I came in here and I found Brock and now I'm happy.
Couldn't you go see your brother yourself?
She kind of like stops dangling, kicking her feet for a second. You mean like travel there on my own without Mommy's permission?
Why not? Aren't you the queen?
Of this place, but if I leave, Mommy'll find me.
So? You've left once, you can leave again.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check with advantage.
$27.
Ooh.
Okay. I'll take the sad man. And if Mommy comes yelling, I'll make him talk to her while I run away. Okay, Brock? By the way, anytime Brock grumbles to those with
Comprehend languages.
you're basically just hearing, okay.
I will even talk to your mother so you can run away.
No, you guys have to stay here. You got your thing going. You made it sound important before.
What did it sound
It's
like?
very important.
Fate of the world, something, something, people dying, something, something, souls, something, something.
Oh, right.
Nara rolls her eyes and looks back at Wolfgang, and then looks back.
Expression unreadable.
Okay, sad man. Brock, his large 3-fingered hand, just like the middle finger just kind of scoops under him. Scoops under Miguel and just lifts him up.
Wait. Before you go,
Vines start to entrench around him.
I pull out the key to the wandering weasel and I toss it to him.
He manages to collapse it in his hand.
Put that in the door keyhole. It'll take you to the wandering weasel.
Okay.
Tom has a pool there. He can get you back to normal.
Thank you, cousin.
I'll see you on the other side. I promise.
He nods. Okay, Brock. Let's go. As Brock stands straight up and starts walking past you. Bye-bye, see you later.
Nara raises a hand.
Lani, I'm curious. Did she take the book from me?
Nope. Completely
Damn.
ignored you.
Shame.
No soul.
Yeah,
Can't blame me for trying.
No paradoxes for you, sir.
Can't blame me for trying, my dude.
All right. And as Brock wanders off with Wither and Miguel in tow, hopefully to get him to safety, this is where we will end today's session.